Kate Moody. Hello to you, Kate. Starting off with Yahoo upping sticks here in France.
Yeah, the internet giant has said that it'll be moving not just its French, but all of its European operations to Ireland. Now, Yahoo won't say this, but it's widely seen as an attempt to try and limit its exposure to France's high corporate tax rate. Charlotte Hawkins explains.
French Yahoo users got a special email on Thursday, an email saying their messages and photos will soon be managed by a single European entity based in Ireland. Officially, the company explains this as being a way to simplify its structure. But it's not by chance that Yahoo picked Ireland, whose Prime Minister even visited Yahoo's CEO in California last year. Ireland offers a very favourable corporate tax rate, one of the lowest in Europe. There, firms are charged just 12.5%, compared to 33% in France. It's a tax optimization method already used by other internet giants like Google, Amazon, Apple and Facebook. A technique denounced by French President François Hollande, who wants higher taxes for big earners.
These big groups which situate themselves in countries with low corporate tax rates, we have to do something about them. And when I go to the US in a few days' time, we have agreed with President Obama to make a joint effort on tax harmonization.
The changes will come into effect in March. Yahoo says its 150 employees in France won't be impacted, but the company's offices in Switzerland and Cairo are believed to be closing.
In the United States, a former manager at the hedge fund SAC Capital has been found guilty of insider trading. A federal jury in New York convicted Matthew Martoma of conspiracy and securities fraud charges for his role in a scheme that helped SAC avoid losses and rake in profits to the tune of $275 million. Prosecutors in New York called it the most lucrative insider trading scheme in history. Martoma could face up to 45 years in jail. Let's take a look at the markets now. We saw a very good trading day in Asia, following Wall Street's strong gains on Thursday. Japan's Nikkei closing up over 2%, the Hang Seng up nearly 1%. Trading has just begun here in Europe. Positive sentiment continuing here for the moment. The major indices all opening in positive territory. The markets will be keeping an eye out for the U.S. monthly jobs report, which is expected later this Friday. Another story we will be hearing a lot more from Washington is the seemingly never-ending story of America's debt ceiling crisis. Today, Friday, marks the end of the current debt limit suspension, which technically means that the U.S. government is not allowed to borrow any more money to pay its debts. The Treasury is expected to use some technical accounting maneuvers to give itself some breathing room, but Treasury Secretary Jack Lew has warned that the borrowing authority must be raised by the end of February, or the U.S. will risk a default. So nothing major expected today, but Congress will start to be doing some wrangling there.
OK, let's take a quick look through some of the day's other business news, starting in Ghana, trying to curb the fall of its currency.
Yeah, Ghana's central bank has raised its key interest rates by a full 2% to 18% in order to attract more investment. It's also limited the amount of foreign currency that bank account holders can withdraw to $10,000 US. This as its own currency, the cedi, fell to record lows this week. Follows similar moves by other emerging markets like India and South Africa.
Things are looking up for the world's largest steel maker, ArcelorMittal. It reported higher than expected fourth quarter profits, and so they expected growth of up to 4% this year. The Luxembourg-based firm is widely seen as a gauge for the health of global manufacturing.
And it's been confirmed that Google bought a nearly 6% stake in China's Lenovo Group last month. According to a new disclosure, the internet giant spent $750 million for more than 600 million shares. Last week, Lenovo agreed to buy Google's Motorola handset division for $2.91 billion in a cash and stock deal.
Finally, Kate, we need never go out again. We can make Coke, or Coca-Cola, I should say, at home.
Well, not yet, but this is what's in the making, apparently. The world's biggest soft make drinker is investing $1.25 billion in Green Mountain Coffee Roasters, which is planning a new home soda maker to go along with its Keurig coffee machines. Now, that means that all of Coca-Cola's brands, including Fanta, Sprite, Powerade, and of course Coke, could all be made at home with the push of a button. It's widely seen as a challenge to SodaStream. As you see here, it's the Israeli firm sponsored by actress Scarlett Johansson, which has recently come into the spotlight for its factories in the West Bank. SodaStream has its own generic cola flavour, but the Green Mountain version would give consumers the real thing at home.
We'll leave it there for the business. Thanks very much to Kate Moody. Time to say hello to Florence Villemino, who's been looking through the international press today. Dominating